Hey YouTube, today I'm visiting the latest addition to Bricktown, the Bricktown Casino. So let's put all our money on red and walk through this MOC modular. Hey guys, and welcome to Brick Talk TV. Terry here, and in today's episode we're going to walk through this casino modular by PeeDeeJay or Paul Carano. This set sits on a standard 32 by 32 base plate and consists of 4,986 parts. At the time of recording, this cost you around £488 to build. There are a couple of expensive parts, mainly the card tiles used on the pontoon tables, and I had to buy these via Bricklink from the United States just to keep the cost down, as in Europe they're quite expensive. In this video I'm going to walk through this MOC level by level and show you the particular detail that each level has as features. So let's flip over now and we'll walk through the ground level and work our way up. So here we are on the ground level. As I already mentioned, this is on a 32 by 32 base plate. So you've got the standard depth and standard width. There's a standard depth to the front here, which has got some nice paving. You've got some nice brick built doors. I'm quite a fan of brick built doors, to be honest, because and less so around the standard Lego doors. I quite like these because you can pull them open. They look quite thick and sturdy, and actually they're quite a nice little build and added detail. There's also some really nice detail and brickwork added above the windows with the lights, and around the door piece here with these feather pieces, which sometimes you use as dart pieces in other modules. And then as you go through into the main area, the ground floor is actually multi-tiered, so there's some steps up to some extra higher levels within this area. Over on this side of the modular, you have a casino roulette table, complete with a spinning roulette wheel and some bricks and the actual some cash on the table there, and you can position your figures around to be playing that. Then over on this side, you've actually got a bar that's serving drinks with some stools. People can sit at the bar. There's some glasses, some bottles at the back, and then over at the far back on this side here, you've actually got the cash dispenser. So this is where you can actually go and put some money in and get some chips out. And inside this area, you've actually got a safe, some detail of a safe, some lights, and a little cashier's table. In the windows, you've actually got some curtains that are built with Lego bricks as well, which are quite nice little builds. I did have a little bit of problem with some of the connections with the clips on here, but I think I might have been using the wrong pieces, so the clips weren't as good. But suffice to say, I put them in and managed to fit them in okay. There's also a lamp here as well, down by the bar as well, just to give you some mood lighting. There's some nice features on the way that the stairs are built. I love building the roulette wheel and that table, the roulette table. That's quite a nice little mini build in there as well. One of the expensive parts actually that I had struggled to get hold of in the UK. I don't know if I bought all of them up and had to go further afield to them, but I had to get them imported from Italy. And those are some dark tan arched or curved pieces that actually give you some added detail on the internal view of the building. You need quite a few. I think it's around 8 on each level. So I actually ran out. I could only get 4 to start with, and then I had to go to Italy to get them shipped over. Again, those were the other expensive piece for me. But that might just be the current supply versus demand in my area of the world. But that was straightforward, and I got them, and they're all built now. Also at the back, if I just spin this round, one piece as well, which is a bit which doesn't work quite well for me, is this piece here on the corner that's built. It's held by one stud, so it kind of wobbles a little bit. I mean, this won't be such a problem when it's positioned in the city with 2 buildings next to it. But when I was building it, it have a tendency to pop out now and again when I was constructing it. So do keep an eye on that when you're building it. And then around the back here, you've got standard windows that are grouped together to make larger windows, which are nice and large, let lots of light into the main casino here. And then you've got a small window on this side because that's where you buy your casino chips from. So there's no big window there in case you break in. As I mentioned, there's a nice staircase at the back. It's nice and sturdy. It goes at a right angle, so it goes up one way and then turns, goes up another way. It's not flimsy at all. It feels really sturdy, made out of bricks. It's not going to collapse or anything. So I'm really pleased with that one as well. So now we've done the ground level. Let's flip over and we'll do the next level up and see what features that level's got. So this is the next level. On this one outside on the exterior, you've got a nice balcony where people can access it through this glass door here. So if they wanted a break from playing on their games, they can come and get some fresh air here. Then on the main area, on this side of Modular, on this level, you've actually got the pontoon table, so where you play 21 or blackjack, whatever you want to call it. There's 2 tables here, nicely green, as you'd imagine inside a casino with the green felt. And these are where the 2 card tiles are as well. So these were quite expensive. I had to get them, as I mentioned, from United States to get them shipped over. I think I got 4 in the end because you need them for the next level as well. And I think they cost about £13 or £18, something like that. Best part of £20 anyway, which is quite expensive just for 4. I don't know whether it's I presume it's the amount that are available to purchase. So you may want to think about swapping them out if it's too expensive for you, or just shopping around, seeing if you can find some of these spare in someone's collection. Then you've actually on the wall, you've got some detail here of some sort of carpets that are hanging up. They use the Minecraft tile just to depict a bit more texture and detail on top of each of the rugs. And you have a rug hanging either side of the doorway to the balcony. Then on this side of the Modular is where you have the one-arm bandits or the fruit machines. These are nice little builds again. They're the same build done 4 times. There's nothing different about each one. But they're nice little units that you can build separately. They've got a nice arm that sits on the side, and you can put the different coloured details inside that make it look like there's some spinning wheels inside as well. Again, you've got the curtain details, same as the level below, so they're matching curtains. But the person would come up from this side, from the stairs from downstairs, get to the one-arm bandits or play pontoon. And then there's another staircase, just a single staircase, again built out of bricks, not a stairpiece, and it's quite sturdy again. And then that steps up to the next level. Again, you've got those expensive arch pieces that I had struggled to get hold of on this level, and I had to wait. I had to build most of this level and wait for the shipment to come in from Italy before I could finish this part off. But they all fit together nicely. Gives you another nice little level of detail inside. And then as you spin round to the rear, you've got Lego windows grouped up here. So you've got a larger window this side and a smaller 2x2 here. And then you've got another small window again because you're underneath the staircase. So it's the same as level below, just so that it doesn't cut off as the staircase goes up behind it. And then that's that level. You've also got built the additional balconies for the next level on this one as well. So at the front here, you've got 3 separate balconies that will then slot in place for the next level. So let's flip over now and we'll look at the top level and see what details there is in that one. So this is the 3rd level, the final one at the top. You've got a staircase that comes up here, and as you come into here, this is where you can play poker, Texas Hold'em, I think it is. You've got a nice big green table, with the card piece. This is the 3rd card piece. And then you've got some chairs situated around so people can all sit there and play the game. You've got the curtains again that are brick built, but this time they're actually in a dark red colour, so they're not using that sort of sand green of the other levels. So a slight change there, but the technique is the same. You've got some lights that are positioned into the walls as well. And then on this side is where the manager's office is. So inside here you've got a nice desk, which is quite a nice little build as well. A nice chair that's built out of bricks, so it's not a standard chair piece. And then you've got a plant and a lamp in there as well. Then at the front, you've got some nice windows again. These have balconies that are situated in front of them. You can't actually access them, they're just there for show. But outside here, you've got some really good, nice level of detail above the windows. They use this piece here, which is sometimes used to depict like a skeleton, or on a motorbike piece, uses the level of detail above each window. And then you've got a nice curve going on above each window as well, which is a nice different feel for it as well. Then at the rear, you've got some large windows, as you've seen on the other levels as well. There's a door that separates the two areas as well, so the office has a door. And then that's that top level. Let's have a quick look now at the roof, and we'll talk through some of the details you get on top of the roof. So this is the roof piece, standard flat roof, as you see in a lot of modulars. So there's no attempts to do any pitching here. There's a nice level of detail actually on the flat roof though. You've got some air conditioning units that are connected with some pipes using the antenna piece and some grills. And then you've got some vents as well over here. You've got a notion of some antennae here as well, which is quite cool, and a satellite dish here, which is maybe used to get some satellite TV inside the venue as well, to keep people interested. Around the rear, let's start there. You've got a level of detail around the patterns here with some 1x1 tiles that are put in place here. On the sides, there's no level of detail because obviously you'd have them butting up against other buildings, so there's really no need. But then in the front here, you've got that carried on 1x1 plate piece pattern going on here with some added detail here. So you've got a golden micro figure here, sat inside a nice arch with these pieces that I mentioned in the last level, just sat above just to give it some architectural detail. I did have a bit of an issue with this build, with the instructions, and it might just be me doing things the wrong way round, but there are two knobs that stick out on this side. So this piece here is actually supposed to butt up right against this piece here, but I seem to be missing the ability to stick it properly because there's two knobs that stick out here. So I don't know if I did read the instructions several times, but I couldn't get the logic to work and get it to fix. So I've just stuck it just behind. Also, these two pieces here actually hang lower than the roof. So if you do put this piece on the table, its chances are this might pop off or fall off or get knocked because it doesn't sit flat. So do bear that in mind when you're moving and positioning this around. So that's each of the levels now. Let's put it all back together and we'll have a quick look at the overall detail on the outside. So here we are with it all back together again. I like the appearance of this building. It's got a nice sort of Renaissance kind of feel to it. It looks different to other modular buildings that are in my city, built by Lego or by myself. So it does really kind of stand out. I do like all the little detail that there are with the little tiles and these architectural arches going over the windows, and these extra doors that are built from bricks as well. I think it looks really good, and I'm going to stick this in my city, and I'll show you a picture at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like nestled in, so you get a feel for what it looks like in the surrounding. The downside of this build, I think sometimes it doesn't feel like it connects particularly well on some levels. There's some gaps sometimes you have to wiggle it about. Sometimes when I'm putting this level in, I knock the top stair piece off, the banister off, because it's very flimsy. It's just a telescope piece with a cheese piece on top. So sometimes I knock it and it falls off, which is a bit irritating, but I get over it. And as I mentioned, these pieces here, I haven't been able to stick this roof piece where it's supposed to be, I don't think. So I need to figure out what's going on there. But apart from that, it's one of the lower cost MOCs that I've built before. It does give a really good visual appeal as well and gives you something different in the city. Gives another point of interest for your minifigs to be positioned in as well, so you can get them a sense of a bit of a social dynamic at the casino. Hopefully none of them develop any gambling habits, but it's just good to have another visual representation within the city. There are also minifigures that the designer has suggested, which I've got links from. I did actually email him because they're not included in the instructions, and he gratefully sent me some links to similar minifigs that you can download as well. I haven't got round to doing that yet, but I will, so that I can populate the manager and some of the people working behind the scenes in the casino. So I'll put them in the description below, so do check them out if you're interested as to what they look like. I also put the instructions and the link through to buying them in the description below. They're quite they're not too expensive to buy as well. I think it was about £12 if memory serves me correctly. And the seller does sell them on eBay and also on Rebrickable as well. But I'll just put the Rebrickable link in the description below. The instructions are detailed. They're good quality. There's 3 books that come with this, so one for each of the levels. The roof and this level included in one. I think in the majority of cases they were easy to follow. There was a couple of bits where I had to sort of recheck and rethink about it, but I managed to get through it. And there was also a point here where there's two sloped pieces on either side here, and in the manual they were depicted as this piece, but in the parts list they weren't included, so I had to order these afterwards. So I had to skip this part of the build and come back to it. So I think the part list I had wasn't quite up to date with some of the changes that they'd had in the instructions. But apart from that, it was a straightforward build. Didn't take too long to collect the parts, apart from the arches and those card pieces which I've already mentioned. And overall, I think this is going to look really good in the city. So yeah, I think overall this modular looks really good. It's really appealing. The only downside, and I'm in two minds about this, is whether this actually does strike me as a casino from the outside. Maybe it would be quite nice to get more of an indication that this is a casino inside, whether that's through some sort of signage, the word casino, or maybe some dice built out of bricks or something, just to give it a that obvious look that it's a casino. But then part of me is also thinking, well, if you're in Monaco or somewhere like that, this sort of Renaissance building looking quite grand, and its architecture would probably just indicate to you that it's a casino anyway. And maybe you don't want hordes of people just turning up because it says casino on the front. So I'm kind of in two minds whether I'd like to see a bit more obviousness around the fact that this is a casino. But overall, yeah, still happy with it, and I'm going to stick it inside Bricktown. And as I said, I'll stick a photo at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like. The designer of this modular as well has also got some other buildings available on his Rebrickable page as well. So again, the link is in the description below. I'm particularly probably got my eyes set on maybe doing his secondary school as the next build. It does take 3 base plates up, so it's quite a wide modular to build, but it does have all the details you'd expect in terms of classrooms and playgrounds. And I'll stick a link in the description below as well to that, so you can have a look. It probably will take quite a while to save up the pieces, and I think the quote for the pieces is around £1,200. So I mean, I'm not in a rush to get it yet, but I'm keeping my eye on maybe building that in the future. So keep your eyes peeled on this channel. So if you did find this review interesting and helpful, do hit that like button and smash that subscribe button with the bell notification to be turned on. And you'll get alerted when I do any more mock reviews or maybe review that secondary school in the future. And until then, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.